Now, a message from the UN.
Well, the more and more I roam, the less and less I know about myself. I used to run without a hitch, now I'm in a sitch that's bringing me down. When I'm feeling blue, it's a hard pill to chew, but this is what I do. I wrote a little song wrapped with a message to say fuck you. Don't let the haters get you down. Let's toast for love, spread it around. Don't let anyone ruin all your fun. Don't let anyone ruin all your fun. Don't let anyone ruin all your fun.
All right, now you can go.
We should play Celebrity Net Worth too.
And we're back. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. This is my co-host, Nicholas. What's your Aaron?
My God.
Nicholas Aaron
I
Gordon?
think you're doing it on purpose.
I don't. I'm really not.
Stewart.
Nicholas Stewart. What? Oh, shit.
Even Bo knows it.
We got Nick Gerlach as my co-host. As always, I flew back from my tour to be
And
here.
boy, are your arms tired. He flew private.
Private.
It's like Kylie Jenner. You should guys.
You could have worn a different outfit for my entrance.
Nope.
Why?
Didn't want to.
How we doing? How's our heads?
Comfortable. I have
How's our
multiple
minds?
shirts.
Are we staying out of trouble? Are we not letting the demons get us? Just
Or
fuck
let 'em
us.
get you sometimes. Kind of fun.
This is a Sea.Hear.Now installment, another installment from the festival from Asbury Park.
Wow.
I was thinking about that. Damn, everyone has these different lives,
Yep.
to follow their dreams, and they're all not fun. Like the path to get to your dream is a lot of work when you're following a dream.
Yeah.
Like even like as a band. Shouting out to everyone following their dreams. That's all. That's
No.
basically the premise I was trying to do.
No, what you just said.
We
is-
hear you.
What you just said is recently you realize that other people have thoughts and lives of their own when they're like,
No.
I feel like in your mind, like as soon as someone isn't in your field of vision, they cease to exist.
No.
Sonder. It's called Sonder.
Really?
That's a word for when you realize everyone else is like not just a background character in your life. It's like they have their own thoughts and
Yeah.
consciousness.
I think you're right. Maybe I was just so self-absorbed my whole life.
You're pretty self-absorbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it a harmful way? Am I harmful about my self-absorbedness?
I don't think so, but it doesn't make it any less true.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I know it
Nothing
does.
matters. There's no God. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you
Damn it.
want.
No, I was trying to have a philosophical question, and he goes straight into the fucking pessimism of nothing matters.
I'm not. Well, stuff matters, but I'm just saying I don't think you're that bad about it. But you are that. You are self-involved.
Okay. Anyway, dialed in gummies.
Hell yeah!
If you want to go deep inward, you
Yeah.
really want to go
Hell yeah.
self-involved into your thoughts, go get some dialed in gummies.
I've been mowing them lately.
Oh, me too.
4 a night.
Yeah. It's summertime, so they glob up as one because I keep them in my backpack like an idiot.
Half of one, like over the course of an hour, I'll have.
I was on such a good routine when I was home. Now I can't even live in my own house. I only could rent it out when I do podcasts.
Denver. Even the people that own the home can't afford to live in their homes here, guys.
It's
That's
crazy.
how bad real estate is here.
It's so expensive.
He owns a
out here.
house and he can't afford to live here.
I got to rent it out to cougars and people who are taking their kids
So
to
many people are fucking in
University
your
of
house.
Denver. I don't know. I have a lot of old people who
Oh, yeah?
rent it, so I
Oh.
doubt they're fucking because they have their
Oh.
kids here, and my house is so open. They're gonna hear.
That's true. This isn't a good like. I wouldn't go here for a couples retreat. You know what I mean?
Unless when I know that they're fucking in the house is when there's only 2 people.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
for
told
sure.
you, I found that big old dildo.
He would. No, I don't remember this actually.
Oh my god, I didn't see it, but our old cleaning people was doing the turnover for the next house while I was on tour, and
Oh,
then,
the old the ladies you had?
the badasses.
Yeah.
And they like pulled up the drape or whatever, like whatever that thing is to hide the lower part of the bed.
Oh, I don't know. What
Duvet or whatever.
No, duvet's on top.
Anyway, they found this fucking
Bed
serious dildo, 9 inches, 10 inches.
Serious. That's. I mean,
so big, so wide. It cracked me up.
If you're gonna get a fake dildo, you got to get a big ass dildo. What's the point? We're gonna get a 4-inch dildo. That's so stupid, right? Like, why would you get like something? It's like my husband's, but smaller. It's comfortable, you know.
Have you ever had a pocket pussy?
No, I haven't.
I've never tried that either.
No, I don't. I've never really been very adventurous in that world. Maybe you just like used all your cum in high school.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm just hoping I'm feral or whatever. Sterile.
Feral's like a stray cat. You are kind of feral too, though. Actually. You're Will Ferrell.
Speaking of stray cats, sign up for Repsy.com. A band. If you don't have an agent, if you're a stray cat,
baby.
if you're the stray cat of the music industry, why don't you sign up for Repsy.com? Also, if you're a juggler, what other things can you sign up for Repsy.com?
A magician.
A magician. Independent promoter. No, independent promoter.
Why not?
Could get
they gotta
bands
find
from
bands.
Repsy.
Yeah, exactly. There's gotta be something.
Wedding
on both
planner.
sides.
Anyone, frat houses. Yo, frats. I know you're starting. I see a lot of people coming into the podcast.
I'll come
from
DJ your frat.
Athens, Georgia, and shit. And we're getting a lot of like Barstool podcast fans coming up.
I'll come DJ your frat.
Yeah, Nick set up
I'm pretty expensive.
a page on Repsy.com.
I'll come tell you guys to quit school, and I'll DJ your frat, and I'll tell you to drop out of school unless your parents are paying for it.
So the only way to book Nick is on Repsy.com. So go sign your band up, sign everything. Or if you're a promoter, I know there's a lot of agents on here. If you want to go have a middleman in the middle of the negotiations, go have Repsy help you.
What you want is fewer people between you and your destination, which is money.
Yes. So sign up for Repsy.com.
All these people take their little cut along the way like little trolls by the bridge. You got an agent, a manager, merch people, you know?
We're almost done with festival season. I can't believe it.
Oh, my God. I got secret dreams this weekend.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm fun. It's going to be fun, I think.
Do you have a set prepared?
Yeah, it's going to be sick. I'm going to just rock.
Do you do what the DJs do with their hands?
No, it's not like that. It's not like party DJ shit. It's more of my, stuff.
Do you put your hand in your pocket while you're DJing?
I should do that and just... I might just do crowd work. Should I just do crowd work over it? I'm playing like 3 p.m., so there might be, it might be 95 with like 3 people there. So I should just do crowd work. But I was thinking of doing crowd work, but like, I can't hear them, right? Because there's like music blasting.
Yeah.
And that's the crowd work. Just me telling people I can't hear them.
Right.
I can't hear you. No, what? I can't. Where are you from? Yeah. Where are you from? I can't hear you. What do you do for a living? I can't. There's a sub,
Hey, I got to promote some tickets.
Money.
I got to promote some shows. This Wednesday, we're in Holyoke, Massachusetts. I don't even know where the fuck that is. Holyoke? Holyoke? Is that it?
It's where Mount Holyoke College is, I bet.
We're playing with Dempsey. Dempsey's Alien Band's opening for us. Oh, no, that's not that version. Someone else is playing that. I think Residual Groove. Waterbury, Vermont. I don't even know. Where the fuck are we playing this week? Waterbury, Vermont.
Bongiorno, what the fuck are you doing, man?
No, Bongiorno, his hands are tied because we played in every market.
He's a Mets fan. He can take a joke.
I know. Shout out to Bongiorno.
Yeah,
Best agent in the biz.
He's a fucking man.
Keeping me busy when I've played every fucking city this year.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to find a market you're like don't have a radius clause in. It's
that's what basically this.
You're playing farm towns.
That's what this tour is.
New England.
Friday, we're in Canandaigua, New York.
What?
Where the fuck are we going to be
Canandaigua.
this week? Canandaigua. I think that's near Syracuse, right?
In between Rochester.
Is it like a festival or something?
It's like an outdoor thing, but I think we're the only band playing.
Oh.
Then we're playing in Baltimore. Can't wait for that Hot August Nights.
Oh, God.
I love that festival.
I love I've never been to the festival.
I love Baltimore.
I went to a baseball game there once. It was sick.
That's a festival. You don't have to buy tickets. Well, buy tickets. I don't want to say don't buy it, but that'll be a fun one. You probably already bought tickets, Baltimore. August 21st, Dewey Beach, Delaware. I love Dewey Beach. You ever been there? That's like a kind of like a Charleston.
I've only ever
town.
played Wilmington.
It's like a Charleston town. It's fucking badass. Played Starboard. Been playing there for like 8 years. Fucking badass. And then Monday we got a private party for Deep Eddies. We're playing in Baltimore again. I probably shouldn't announce that, but fuck it. Shout out to Deep Eddies. And then August 24th. So we're playing in Memphis, Lafayette. Can't wait for that. I haven't been back since Mempho Fest. I love Memphis.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's where the original Gus's fried chicken is.
I like Gus's fried chicken and
fucking
Central
delicious. Barbecue. And then back to Arkansas, the 25th. Little Rock, we're playing the Rev Room. With
you're back in your fall tour circuit again.
Shut up.
That's where we played in fall tour last year.
Yeah.
I guess it's been a year. I'm just saying, that's like weird. It's been that long that you can play Red Room again.
I know. And then we're playing Chicago, Sacred Rose. And then we just got booked for opening for the Disco Biscuits in Cincinnati, Ohio.
The fuck?
They wanted me to open. I'm like, hell yeah, I was honored. I'm like, shout out to Brownie.
It's a funny pairing.
It is. I'm already getting ripped on. Their fans don't really like me.
Their fans don't like anyone but the Disco Biscuits.
I know. I'm getting some shit on. I'm like, whatever, fuck y'all. Because I'm still playing, and I'm gonna rock the fuck out of Cincinnati. Let's go.
What is it? Where at? Taft?
It's some amphitheater.
The Riverwalk?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, Riverwalk. Is that cool? Is it big?
I haven't played it, but I wonder if Casey Schneider's involved in that.
Casey Schneider.
Essential Productions. He books. They do Resonance Festival, but they're all like from Cincinnati.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Spain, baby.
Español.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. No, it's a TH.
Shout out to Virgin Voyages.
The C is a TH in Barcelona.
I've never been on an all-adult cruise.
You've been on an all-children's cruise?
I mean, mostly, besides Jam Cruise, well, that's basically adult children on that festival. But I've never,
the richest children on earth.
I've only been on a couple cruises, but they always had kids and like fucking pissing in the pool and shit. Now we're going to have adults pissing in the
terrible.
pool. So come out, buy some tickets, and then, or don't, and just come during the fall.
Just smoke crack in your basement.
What I think, yeah, anyway. What a fucking opening.
Smoke meth in your fucking basement instead.
Have you ever smoked meth?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah. I snorted it in Germany.
Doesn't count.
Took 2 lines of it and was up for 3 days.
Doing speed in Germany doesn't really count.
Yeah, but they told me it was coke.
Why do they like speed so much over there?
I think because
I don't think I'm gonna
it's
like
more
Germans.
legal.
Am I gonna
yeah, you're coming to Europe with us.
Am I going to like German people?
What do you mean?
Am I going to like them?
Yeah, Germans, they're totally you.
Aren't they like a bunch of assholes?
No, they're stern. They're stern but funny.
Oh, they are funny.
They're hilarious.
I can't name one German stand-up comedian. I don't. Oh yeah, there's that one guy. What about the French? I'm not into. They're all snobs. Also, they got us into the Vietnam
The French.
War.
I mean, I've only been to France once. Oh my god! I don't think I told you this.
I don't even know.
First Europe tour, I burned my hotel like flames.
What,
dude?
How?
Was so fucked up. So they have those lamps that just get really hot because old school, and I was just so excited in my own room, first ever Europe tour, and by myself.
Like how long ago was this?
I was in 21.
Oh man, you went over there early.
Mm-hmm. We played the Paris European International Film Festival.
Okay.
And they hired me a Dutch band. That's how I met all those Dutch guys.
Oh, okay.
But I put a towel on that lamp and it burned it.
Oh no.
And it was flames. And then, cause I was gone. I wasn't even in the room.
That sucks.
And the flames hit that, those luggage, the wooden luggage.
Yeah.
And flames were, I guess, going up. And thank God it was an old fucking hotel, but it was all concrete. I got so lucky. I'm like, so the promoter came to the show and I opened the door and white flames was coming out of the door. I'm like, oh my God. And the promoter's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, go over there. So I went back into the room and I Dextered the fuck out of it. I cleaned up every piece of wood, every
You didn't get caught?
Every ash. No, I'm like, I don't know what happened. I blamed it on electric.
Yeah. It's
electric
easy.
fire.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shitty old hotel. You
Yeah.
had a bunch of
And I got a free breakfast.
You got a free breakfast. All you had to do was burn down your hotel room.
Let's fucking go.
That'd be a great T-shirt.
I was a good con artist back then.
Yeah. Unlike now.
Shut the fuck up.
Now you're just a medium con artist. Everybody's seen the tricks already. What's that Red Room con?
I'm going to take a year off.
And do what? The podcast only?
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I always wanted to do that, but I can't afford that.
You could if you just. It would be worth it just to see Brian get mad about it.
Should I just call him and say I'm going to take a year off?
Do it right now.
No.
Call him on speaker and tell him you want to take a year off. You're thinking about it in 2023.
No.
You fucking pussy.
No, he'll know because we kind of we resolved our fight. We talked in the morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What was the resolution?
Him telling me that record labels passed on me.
Who passed on you?
5 record labels passed on me.
Why?
They just said they're tight, and they're Americana labels, and a couple of them were I think this is gonna be a bad couple of years in the music industry. I'm not saying like my new album deserves, but like, come on,
nobody has any money.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have
record
to finance
labels
this
are already
record.
Screwed anyway. They already were doing bad before this.
Yeah, fuck all these record labels. They're all
That's
fucking
a stupid
pretentious
business model.
Well, they want to hire bands. They're going to hire bands either who are a guarantee win or baby bands that they could take a huge percentage from.
But there's no such thing as a guaranteed win in this industry.
Well, you could see.
I mean, U2 or something, I guess.
There's some of these fucking sleepy Americana bands who will always sell X amount of records.
Yeah, I don't know about that world.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that music, so I don't really know anything about it.
I'm not trying to talk shit.
No, that's a thing, though.
What's the deal with Americana? Like, they just have their nose up.
Well, because they don't want people to find out they did something fun or funny or cool. They want to be like, because most of them are just...
Everyone's so fucking serious, dude. I'm like, come on.
Because they're artists, bro, and artists have to be serious.
Oh, what the fuck ever. We're artists, too, and we can still talk about calm and beating off.
Well, I'm saying, artists are, they think that artists need to be serious all the time. It's the stupidest thing
Oh, my
ever.
God. Stop with here's my
I don't like any of their music, so I don't
Here's
really
my
care.
pep talk. Hey, stop with the pretentious bullshit, okay? Take a deep breath and realize you're human. I learned that today. Everyone is human.
Yep. Today, Andy realized that every other person has their own life and thoughts.
Oh, fuck you, Nick.
I mean,
You're over-exaggerating my thought.
Well, yep, that's the point.
Stop being pretentious about your music. Fucking stop being so serious. Even I know a couple jam bands who are just always so stern when they're walking around. Hey, put a fucking smile on.
Yeah.
You're just jamming. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be fine. You play music for a living.
You're
Chill
not that cool,
the
by
fuck
the way.
out.
You know?
And the songwriters in the Americana scene. Stop being so fucking pretentious.
You're 43 years old.
Don't take it so seriously. Write serious songs, but have fun with it.
That's all I say.
You're 43.
You're 43. You have 3 kids. You're not cool anymore. You can wear the hat. That's fine, but just relax.
Come on. Let's stop taking everything
like
so goddamn fucking seriously.
These people act like they're the first people to ever write a song about a girl breaking up with them or something. Like,
Well, no, it's the whole fucking Newport Coal Fest thing. Everyone's got to be fucking serious.
Yeah.
It's like the record label thing. Everyone, all the people, well, our band's on whatever record label.
Well, people, think of the kind of person that would work for a record label.
Yeah, they're kind of like, yeah, I get that.
You work for one, you know what they are. None of them are good at music. It's all these people that don't know one fucking thing about music running the music industry. How can that be good?
Well,
it's like if I started working for the Department of Education.
Speaking of music, Fandium.com.
Fandium.
Fandium.com. Do you want to say the pitch for Fandium?
Sure, I can start it off. They're doing a Jerry Garcia contest right now.
80th birthday, Jerry Garcia.
Hey, happy birthday, Jerry.
I saw a funny ass meme.
Actually.
I do too. I saw a funny ass meme. It was like, damn, Jerry Garcia didn't know what a White Claw black cherry was.
One thing about Jerry Garcia is I don't know if you've ever watched interviews with him back in the day. He's a very witty, funny guy. Didn't take himself too seriously.
Right.
See,
look where you got. He's a legend.
Yeah, now they're okay. So
stop acting so fucking serious.
Here's what they did. It's okay.
Hi. Oh my God. Look at the new.
Oh my God. This dog is so cute.
Oh, dude, I want one of these. This is Chip, everybody. Hey,
he's
buddy.
6 months old. He's really smart.
Oh my God.
Okay, you do that. Fandium. Okay, so
talk about Fandium. Let me touch this dog.
I don't know if you're familiar. Jerry Garcia had a lot of famous guitars. There was the Tiger one, I think. This one. Then they made a remake of the dog guitar. Okay?
Oh my God, a dog just walked into the podcast.
Oh my God, that is weird.
Isn't that crazy?
He is very confused. He doesn't know what a podcast is.
He doesn't know what a podcast is.
So it's
Come here.
Oh no, the dog guitar is a tribute to the wolf guitar. That's what it is. I was like, there was no guitar. Okay, so it's completely made plastic free. You get an amp, a tube amp with it too, and a case.
Wow.
All plastic free. It looks like a pretty sick guitar.
Actually. You get a complimentary case. What else do you get?
I don't know if you're going to. They're going to unveil the guitar. It looks like on.
You get an amp too.
They already did. Mahali showed it. You get an amp too. You enter. You donate. The best thing is whatever you donate goes to a charity.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Fuck up, Bo. I'm doing my
We're trying to do an
goddamn
ad
pitch.
here, Bo, okay?
Do my fucking pitch, Bo.
All right, what's the right way to
What
say
did I
this?
say wrong?
Just keep going.
What did I say wrong?
I'll tell you later.
You piece of shit. Tell me.
Hey.
It's over October 8th.
They're not going to renew our
Just
contract.
get on the website and get in the contest. You get it. It's like a Jerry Garcia contest. You guys go crazy for that stuff, right?
Yeah, they love Jerry. You should go to fandium.com.
People like our reads because they're organic and they're real and they're raw.
And Mahali from Twiddle touched this guitar.
He touched it with his bare hands.
Oh my God. These Twiddle fans are going to be blowing loads, ropes to get this fucking guitar. This contest ends on October 8th. So you got a lot of time, but also go to if you type in Frasco 100 at checkout, you get 10 more entries for free. So
what?
So
it's like $1 per entry?
$1 per entry.
Maximum 100 entries?
Maximum 100 entries.
Right, Bo?
Nick, are you going to have a good week? Are you going to kill it?
Fucking correct me on this podcast again.
Oh, you could
I will fire you. Even what?
You could donate $500.
Oh, you can donate more than that. Okay.
Donate 100.
You get 10,000 entries. Okay, so it compounds the more you donate.
Wow, this is a good business model.
Especially since it's for charity.
Yeah. I like this.
So, okay, I see what it is.
I get what this is too.
You get 100 for every $10.
Okay.
And look, it compounds as you go up. Once you hit that, so I would start. What I would do is I would donate at least 50 because that's when you get more.
1,000. You get 1,000 of them. That's pretty good.
At
I like
least
that.
50. You get double entries at 100. Damn, that's a good deal.
So sign up for Fandium.
If you win the guitar,
what?
You're a part of history, man.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have a great week. You want to give them some motivation today?
You already did. You told everyone to stop being pretentious.
Okay. Is that motivation or is that just
no?
petty?
I don't know. What are we gonna motivate them to do? Like you know?
Do you think? What about like we could motivate them to drink water?
Drink water, people, because if you don't, you'll slowly die.
Oh man, I didn't realize that back pain happens because you don't drink water.
I mean, that can happen. It can be part of it.
Oh man,
There's a lot of reasons you can get back pain. You don't drink enough water.
I went to that bachelor
for sure.
party and I was just playing with these buff ass fucking dudes.
I know. I noticed a lot of them were fucking hot.
They were hot and they're all shirtless, and I was like insecure, so I didn't want to wear I wore my shirt everywhere.
Are you not as hot as them?
Fuck no.
Usually you're the hot guy.
Oh, not with these guys. All these guys are ex-baseball players.
Baseball players are hot.
But they're like, hey, let's take off our shirts and play basketball.
And they fuck.
And then fuck each other.
They're all like pro athletes. And you're like, I play the piano kind of. I stand on one.
Well, the funny thing was I was the best basketball player
Right.
when we were young. Now these guys just fucking kill me.
Yeah, because they've been actually playing sports for the last 20 years and you've been
taking drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, don't do like I do. Stay fit. Drink
water. Don't drink so much alcohol. Quit smoking cigarettes.
I've been drinking less alcohol.
Oh.
Haven't I, Bo? No, not really.
I don't think you have, honestly.
I think it's a lie.
What about cigs?
No, I'm smoking a lot. I'm not smoking as much weed.
Okay, that's the one thing that's not that bad for you, though.
True. I'm just stressed out. I'm doing too much.
Well, do less.
No.
Well, then don't complain about it.
Okay. Have a great day.
Bye.
All right, next up on the interview hour, we have professional surfer Sam Hammer, New Jersey's own. Yes, this was a great conversation. The man's endorsed by Billabong. He's got his own surf school. He's killing it. And he's going to be surfing at the Sea.Hear.Now festival in Asbury Park. So this is another installment of the Sea.Hear.Now festival. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love this interview. I've always wanted to interview a surfer. Those guys are fearless, and you're in the fucking water with sharks and shit. It's fucking nuts. And for them to just start killing shit on waves, not like animals, but just like fucking killing it. You know what I mean? Hope you enjoy Sam Hammer.
What's up, Sam?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. Nice to meet you, bro. This is exciting. I never get surfers on the show. This is great.
Well, thank you for so much for having me. It's truly an honor, and only my second podcast, so be kind.
Really? All right, cool. Let's go straight into the family issues. No, I'm just kidding.
Give me the hard stuff.
Tell me how important New Jersey is to you, bud.
Oh man, New Jersey is, it's where I'm from. It's so important. It's where my family is, my friends. New Jersey, I feel like New Jersey gets a really bad rap. As far as, obviously what you've seen on TV with MTV, that did a lot of damage, but, you got to take things in turn, and we get a bad rap, but it seems like there's Jersey people everywhere in the US, they just kind of migrate from here to other places. And a lot of people end up back here. And, I think you get a really good, strong work ethic from the people here. So, Jersey kind of brought me up that way. And I'm grateful for everything that I've learned in the state.
What'd your parents do?
My parents own a restaurant. So my parents have had a restaurant in Lavalette for 43 years. My dad's from Pittsburgh, and he had a summer home here with his family, and didn't like Pittsburgh. So the second he graduated high school, basically, he moved out here, and then he went to West Virginia, and would come back here every year, and he was just trying to find his way to live here permanently. And then he met my mom, who's from Roselle Park, which is northern Jersey, and they just decided to move down here because they loved it so much. And they've had the restaurant for 43 years. It was an old hotel in Lavalette. Yeah, a long time. It's been a staple in Lavalette forever. And just kind of growing up and watching, them and how they work and how dedicated they were to what they do, teaches you a lot, watching your parents, through the restaurant industry. I mean, people know the restaurant industry is brutal, and right. Especially in a seasonal town going through recessions, depressions, all sorts of stuff. In the 80s, we had a lot of garbage issues on our beaches. And, so you just watch all that stuff and how it affects business and how they responded to it throughout and how they deal with people. It teaches you a lot.
That's awesome, man. Who taught you about work ethic? Was it your dad? Was it your mom? Or
both of them? Yeah, they both taught me about work ethic. They just said, my dad always said, it doesn't matter what you want to be, just be the best at it, and that's it. And it doesn't matter what it is in life. If you're gonna take something head on, be the best. And that's just kind of the way I was brought up.
That's that New Jersey mentality, bro. That's that like fucking, yeah. Let's get this shit popping. If you're gonna be good, if you're gonna do something, do it with full intention,
Do it with intent, correct. And that's, it's a product of where I am. And, growing up and surfing around here, you just get that. It's not like it used to be. Like, you hear about all these localized places and stuff like that. And you can't really get away with that stuff anymore. But growing up, I mean, it was tough to go surf the pier, which really taught me how to compete in the ocean. That was like the focal point of surfing in New Jersey. And it was a mile from my house, so I'd surf there. And the older guys, they were hard-nosed people, and you got to learn how to compete with them to get waves, and with respect, of course.
Yeah, that's got to be wild. Where it's like you grew up in a town so close to surfing competition. When you told your parents that you're going to be a surfer, were they worried at first, or did they like what? Give me that story.
I mean, so in high school, I'd compete in let me say this first. When I was 15, I started working at a surf school in California. So I didn't have to be here during the flattest months of the year. I'd go out there, I'd compete in nationals, get my ass kicked, but I'd compete.
How old were you?
When I started,
when you were living in California competing?
Well, I used to teach at a surf school when I was out there. I was about 15. I taught there when I was 15, 16, 17. So I'd be out there, pretty much on my own it was pretty unsupervised, to be honest with you. But, so I started spending my time out there when I was 15. And then, my parents coming out of high school, I didn't want to go to college. I wasn't ready. I wasn't mature enough. I hated school. Right. did all right in school. I could have done better if I actually applied myself. I just didn't apply myself because I hated it so much.
Yeah.
So they gave me 2 years to make some money, and if I can make enough money to live on for after those 2 years of surfing, they were supportive. But they gave me a 2-year grace period. They were so supportive. I had so much support from those two. It was incredible, and it really teaches you a lot, because if you look at my family situation, from my grandfather was a doctor, and my dad wanted to open up a restaurant, and my grandfather was like, that's not a good thing, but my dad, that's what he wanted to do. So they were like, that's what you want to do, go do it. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back to school. And so they gave me that 2-year grace period, and after year one, I was making enough money to live on, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then they were always supportive, and it was funny growing up in the restaurant business. There's so many people that are going through their friends and customers and clients, and they're like, oh, you're going to take the restaurant over. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And my parents never wavered. They just had full support the whole time in everything that I did. And that goes a long way to have that backing and support.
I wonder if like your dad like actually became a doctor or something, you would have different values of your philosophy of like, oh, okay, if my dad made me be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor, little Sam. Or because he said no, and I'm going to start a restaurant, that built this like open-ended idea that actually it's okay to follow your dreams,
Yeah, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So he was a school teacher. His dad's like, oh, go be a school teacher. And he hated it. So he did it for the first half of the year and never went back after Christmas. And just like didn't show up. And if you know my dad, he actually doesn't quit at anything. He's just a grinder, and he's still working. He's 78 now. And
Let's
he's
fucking
still
go, Pops.
Yeah, and it keeps him young, So I'm all for it. He still cuts every piece of fish and meat that goes through there. He's in there every day, looking at the numbers,
So
writing his
wild.
notes. Yeah, but it keeps him young, So, it's cool. But I'm sure if he was a doctor, it would be a totally different story. Yeah.
What'd you learn in California that made you like fall in love with surfing?
Well, so I surfed here I started surfing here when I was 9, and New Jersey has incredible waves. It's just
really
incredible. It's not incredible all the time or a lot.
Okay.
But when it's good, it's world class. We've had like when I say world class, I mean we get like 3 or 4 days a year that you could put anywhere in the world and people would be freaking out. So growing up here, I just fell in love with the ocean. I started boogie boarding when I was 4 or 5, and that's how I learned how to surf on a boogie board. I taught myself how to stand up on the boogie board, and then when I went out there, I was like, I was 15, and California's, when you're young, you're like, oh my God, this is the holy land, and
right.
So I went out there and I surfed. There's great waves. And then I came home and I was like, man, our waves are better than I thought. And, just being out there, it shows you, I guess, where I was is this place called San Clemente, and there's a wave called Lowers. And, you go there and you just see the best of the best. So it was awesome doing that when I was 15. And then, coming home and, thinking about what those guys were doing on those waves, and then coming home and trying to apply it here. I don't know, just lucky, I guess, to be from here, but surfing has always been my main focus. And, surfers are very selfish. So,
right. That's what I was saying. Like, is it competitive? Where like when you're in the water with these guys, it's like, they don't give a fuck. They'll take everything, It's like, what?
They'll run your ass over. Yeah, for sure. Surfers are extremely selfish. It's competitive out in the water, but it's good to be competitive. Nobody gets good at something by not being competitive,
I agree.
And competition is healthy. So, yeah, out there it's super competitive. People would run you over, but it was the same thing as surfing. My local break, the pier. Those guys were competitive too. It pushes you further, and everybody wants the best wave of the day. There's nobody out there that doesn't. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out there.
Yeah, give me a story of like when like your first. Have you ever like your first loss in a competition and how it made you feel?
My first contest I surfed in, I think I was 9. I was
Holy
9.
fuck! Are you serious?
Yeah. I was 9. So I'd
9,
been
you're
surfing for
competing?
I'd been surfing for a few months, and on a hardboard. Like I said, I learned on boogie board. So on a hardboard, I started surfing when I was, I think it was 9 or 10. So I surfed for like, I don't know, 8 months, and I started surfing against the division I was in was 14 and under. So I was way young, and my first heat I won, my second heat I won, and then I made to the finals, and I got third, and I was like super pissed and angry. And but what it did is it just lit a fire. I'm not a good loser.
Yeah.
I know how to lose, but I'm not a good loser. I'll walk away and deal with it myself, and I know how to lose gracefully in public. But like, it pisses me off.
Let's
Not as
fucking
much.
go.
Yeah, not,
I
not
love it.
now, but like, I'm old, so I'm not as competitive. But if the waves are really good, I want the best wave of the day for sure.
So you're 9 years old, just fucking being competitive as fuck out there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That's just my makeup. That's my mentality. I'm competitive. I'm a competitive person.
Yeah. In the surfing community, are there like those crazy parents like there were like in like, those like glamour or like cheerleading parents, or like was it that competitive with the parents too, or was it all just cuz it's a very individual sport that
Yeah.
I wonder like how competitive, like who teaches that, like getting sponsorships or kids thinking about that, like I want to get sponsored by so and so, or I want to win this and get on X Games. Like what was like in your brain made you feel like success was around the corner?
Well, I mean, surfing is when you're surfing events, and so a little bit about me is I competed a lot until I was like 23. And then I
Yeah.
found a different way to make money in magazines and going on trips and shooting with different photographers. And I'd still compete a few times a year, but it wasn't my main objective. My competition was to get more photos in the magazine than anybody else. That's what I wanted to do because it was less stressful. I kind of it wasn't less stressful. Like, I was very competitive with other people that were doing that. When I was competing growing up, I mean, when you're talking about surfing, it's so subjective to what the judges see.
Right.
And when you're young, like our local contests around here, our regional contests, those judges could be like parents of the rivals that you're surfing against.
Oh,
or
fuck.
or like, or like a surf shop owner, his buddies are judging a final of a regional event, and he has kids in the event like that he sponsors, so it's very subjective, it's a little shady. um but it's so you learn, I don't know, it's just a very subjective sport of who's judging.
I'd be so fucking pissed, bro, if like the judge's son won the fucking competition when you knew you had a better ride, like
It happens. If it happens, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, it happens at all levels, though. Like, it's not. There's always that sense where people feel ripped off in certain situations, and sometimes it's warranted, and other times it's not. But it's part of the sport. It's kind of like boxing.
yeah.
Who won the round, who didn't.
How many like professional, like older professionals are there, or is it a young man's sport?
It's surfing is definitely a young man's sport, without a doubt. Every company is always looking for the next kid to come up and be the great superstar. With that being said, Kelly Slater has changed the whole thing. You know,
I know that's what I was thinking. That's crazy.
I mean, he's 50 and he's still on tour, still winning heats, still won an event this year. Can win this week at Chopu for sure. And, you know, so he's kind of changed the whole outlook. There's a few guys that really changed the whole outlook as far as longevity goes in surfing. And Shane Dorian's done a brilliant job of that also. And he kind of, you know, went through phases where he was WCT guy, then a photo guy, and then, you know, one of the best big wave surfers ever, changed the whole sport. You know, so if you just reinvent yourself and do different things, find different ways to just, you know, kind of reinvent yourself and stay fresh. You know, you can last a lot longer now than in years past.
You know, do you know Kelly at all?
Yes.
So, what's his regimen? Like, is he super like thinks about diet, or is he like super jeans where he could do whatever the fuck he wants? It's like the fountain of youth.
Yeah, he's. I don't know him like. I know him. Like, I'll talk to him on the phone and stuff, and I've gotten him actually to come out and surf New Jersey a few years ago. He was supposed to come out last year, but to go surf some other wave, but he ended up skipping last minute. He's so engaged in surfing. Quick story: one time he was so there was a surf event in Tahiti this week.
Mm-hmm.
So years ago, probably like Tahiti. Yeah, there's a surf event in Tahiti, like for the top, you know, 20 guys in the world. Yeah. And a few years ago, it was like 2 weeks later, I think it was almost closer to September. It's probably 5 or 6 years ago. And we had a hurricane in the ocean, and there's a wave up in like north of us that's 10 miles off the coast, and it's a really cool wave, but it's really spooky because there's no island. It's just a rock that comes up, and he knew we surfed it, and he's like, "Hey, is that thing gonna?" I'm cleaning my yard. I'm literally mowing my lawn, and my phone rings, and it's him. And he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this wave? I see this hurricane." And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Man, you're surfing in the next heat, and you're on the phone with me. This is so bizarre." But he's just so engaged with everything, with all swells all over the world, and he eats very clean. I don't believe he drinks that much, and, you know, really takes care of himself with his diet, and, you know, that really goes a long way, and kind of preserving your body. You know, if you eat proper, it's gonna pay off, and I'm a believer of that also. But that's why, you know, I think he's still around, and he does have freak genes. Like, there's photos of him years ago. I don't think anymore. I know he has some like body issues now too, of him bending backwards and his head's touching his heels just naturally. So he had like crazy flexibility. Shit. Yeah.
That's fucking insane. What, insane. Did you have to do something?
My earbuds are gonna die out soon. So,
all right, we'll do a couple more. I was wondering, have you ever had like any near-death experience?
I hit my head a few times, or, you know, that's about it. But I hit my head at backdoor one time really good, where I had to get rescued. You know, it was pretty bad, but, you know, stuff happens.
What do you mean hit your head, like on a coral or something?
Yeah, hit my head on the bottom. Like, I was surfing and I pulled in the tube, and I got pushed up into the ceiling of the wave, and it caught my head and brought me straight back. And then my head just went slapped on the back of my head back here. And I had to
get knocked out, or what?
Yeah, for a few seconds, not too long, luckily. I have a hard head, so I've never been knocked out like completely, but I was definitely out of it. And then I hit my shoulder. So I don't remember hitting my head, but then I remember feeling my shoulder jar into the reef. And that's kind of what brought me to. And then I came up and got a quick breath of air, and then it went over me. I had to get, it was pretty deep, you know, about a 8-inch gash in the back of my head. You know, I had to get a bunch of staples and stitches, and yeah, it's part of it, you know. Listen, you can't be in the ocean these guys, what they're doing today is tremendous with the big wave stuff. It's so frightening. It's like, they're cut from a different cloth. But, if you surf long enough, if you do any activity, whether it's football, baseball, Tiger Woods with golf, you're going to get hurt, especially skateboarding, snowboarding, like you're going to get hurt. There's always going to be those experiences where, the lights go out and maybe not golf as much unless you get hit. Or chased with a golf club, but it just seems like, whatever you do, you're going to take your lumps and bruises. And, as far as drowning, I've had a few scares, but nothing. That was the worst one. That was by far the worst one. I had a leash wrap around my neck and get stuffed in a cave once. But luckily the board broke, so it wasn't pulling as tight. So like, it's have those experiences.
Fuck, Sam. Are you serious?
Yeah, but any good surfer is like, anybody that's pushed themselves has had these experiences. You know what I mean? You just don't. Shit's gonna happen. It's the ocean. There's consequences.
What's your take on death?
I never thought about it that much. I don't think about it that much. No, I mean, listen, after I hit my head, I started taking calculated chances as opposed to just chances. That made me rethink, and it definitely slowed me down for sure. Like I was, when you're young and you're brave, you have as much confidence. I was getting good waves. I had confidence. I was, growing into becoming more and more fearless on bigger waves. And then that happened. Definitely made me look at the ocean a little bit differently. Like, you could get hurt out here, and instead of taking risk, I took, like I said, calculated guesses, and no more injuries like that.
Do you think that's why it's a young man's game? Because the younger we are, the more fearless we are?
Yes and no. I just think, you look at a lot of the big wave surfers today, and they all have the same demeanor. They're very calm and cool and collected.
Sick.
But they're psychopaths, but they're calm psychopaths. Yeah,
they're like serial killers.
Yeah, they're the scariest kind. But they're all very composed. Not much rattles them. And then you have guys that are like getting all fired up to surf, and when the waves are good, people trying to pump themselves up. So there's two different breeds. Some that go at it very calculated, and some that are like, let's go. So. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it is a young man's sport, especially when you're pushing like that. Once you have kids too, like I have 2 daughters, it definitely makes you think of things differently.
What do you see when you see these young kids surfing with your surf school? How do you know that how do you know that some have this natural instinct in the ocean that they're going to be professionals? Can you see that at a young age?
Yes, I believe you can. It's more of a tenacity and a determination in the ocean.
Yeah.
And like you don't just go out there and understand the way the ocean works. You can't just watch it from the beach and be like, oh, I know where to go. You have to be out there, put your time in, learn the ocean, the way it moves, the way the water moves. And, when you see people that have that determination, that surf anything and everything, which is, few and far between. Right. A lot of people are like, oh, it's sideways rain. The waves are good, but I don't want to deal with it. Right. So whereas us, like me and a few of my buddies, we're like, that we're professional surfers. We see the sideways rain and we welcome it because it's less people in the water. Yeah. So, like there's certain waves I won't surf in the state unless it's sideways rain, just because it gets too crowded. Cool. And, you look for that kind of stuff to see how much grit people have. And I feel like that determines a lot of people's determination and drive to get better.
It's fucking insane, dude. You're crazy. This surfing is wild. Like, did you ever want to be a big wave surfer? Like, was that a thing for you or no?
No, I never wanted to be a big wave guy. I don't like deep water.
Yeah.
So I'd rather hit the bottom and bounce up than get drug underwater for 50 yards.
What about like sharks and shit, bro? I'm such a pussy. I'm just whatever.
I'll tell you what, there's a few waves on the East Coast right now I will not surf because of sharks. Like I will not go there. I mean, I haven't surfed Florida since I was 17.
Oh, fuck all that, dude.
Yeah, there's Florida in New Smyrna, there's so many sharks. There's been a lot of sharks this year. I haven't seen any. I've only seen two. For summertime, like last year, I saw about 8. You know, this year I saw 2, so I haven't seen many.
8?
But yeah, you see them. But most of the ones that we have here, they're not gonna. We're lucky where we live. We don't have a lot of aggressive fish. You know, so there are. I mean, in saying that, I mean, are there great whites that pass by? Sure, you know, but we don't have like this crazy population of them. You know, not yet anyway. Knock on wood, wherever it is.
Yeah.
But you know, there's places like Cape Cod. You know, with good waves, but there's so many sharks. I won't surf there anymore.
That's so crazy. I mean, are there more horror stories about shark attacks with surfers than we see, or is it reversed? Is there not a lot of shark attacks?
I don't think there's that many. Yeah, there's not a ton of shark attacks, but they're, you know, social media, the news, like they're just looking for anything to scare people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, hey, you know, like a lot of times you'll see on the news here, oh, there was a 14-foot great white off the coast of New Jersey. Okay, but how far off the coast? A lot of these sharks are like 80 miles out. You know, that shark's not coming in. You know, but I mean, are there big fish that come by? Sure. You know, last year I was in the ocean. I saw. Are you familiar with basking sharks?
Yeah.
So I've never seen one before in my life. Yeah. I was doing a lesson. We had 6 clients in the water, and I'm looking and I'm like, man, all right, there's a sunfish coming by, because sunfish swim like this. They flop, right? So their fin will come up and then it flops. So a lot of times they're sideways. I saw a sideways fin and I'm like, oh, it's a big sunfish, whatever. 2 minutes later, my staff's like, hey, Sam, shark. And I'm like, all right, cool. Look, I'm looking. Sure enough, I see the tail come behind it, you know, and it's a shark. I'm like, all right, it's pretty good size, you know, but it's not moving fast. So let's get out of the water.
All right, it's pretty good size. No problem.
It's pretty good size. And then in between waves, it gets really calm. Like if a set comes in between the first wave and the second wave, it flattens out. And it like a set came and it flattened out. Dorsal was like 4 feet. I'm like, holy shit, that's a massive shark. We get out and I thought I didn't understand what it was, because I'd never seen one before like this. And I mean, it was in between the tail and the dorsal was 12 to 15 feet. So it's a massive shark. And I don't know how big it was, but it was a really big basking shark. And I've never seen one that close to the beach. And it was really cool. But, you know, obviously stories get overblown. And I drove 10 minutes after I left to go to a different location after the lesson. And by the time I got out of the car, like someone's like, hey, I heard there was a big great white in this place. And I was like, nah. It was a basking shark. It was really cool, actually. You know, those things could have been 80 years old.
So yeah, dude, it had to be an old shark. What's protocol for that? Like if there's a shark in the water and you're with a bunch of kids, what's protocol for that?
Depends on how big it is. You know, if it's a smaller shark, you know, and it's moving, I'm really not going to say anything. If it's a bigger fish that's moving aggressive, I'm going to, you know, get out for sure. And when I mean smaller, I mean like 3 feet. Okay. You know, a lot of if I see a 5-foot shark, you know, I'll kind of move people in. You know, you just don't know what the intent is. You know, like I said, we don't see that many. Don't see that many. They kind of stay out off the beach a little bit. You know, do they come in? For sure, but for the most part, you don't see them. I try not to tell people, because everyone thinks if there's a shark in the ocean, it's going to rip your head off. Yeah. You know, but it's not the case. So, I mean, like I said, they're definitely out there that we don't see, and you know, don't worry about them. It's not like we have tiger sharks and bull sharks and you know.
Like, what about like West Coast over East Coast? Where are more like predator style fish?
I think it's pretty balanced out. Like up in New England right now, there's a lot of great whites.
Fuck all that, dude.
And like big ones. You ever look at the shark tracker? It's called O-Search Shark Tracker. It's really fascinating. So it's the Atlantic White Shark Conservatory. They do this. They tag sharks, and you look at where they go and where they migrate, and you're just like, holy shit, these things are everywhere. so like, don't worry about them. And they tag different kinds. They tag makos and whites and all that sort of stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's really fascinating because, I mean, you see tracks where they're, pretty close to here.
Right.
One was actually in an inlet about 2 miles away from me, like a big fish, like a 14, 15 foot great white. And it was in the inlet. Yeah.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah. But nobody saw it. You know what I mean? So like, did it happen?
Oh yeah, it's like that. If a tree falls in the forest,
correct. Yeah. It wasn't on social media, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, is that what you like about surfing, man? It's like your getaway from the real world. Like it seems like it'd be such a peaceful sport. What do you like about it?
What do I like about surfing? It's everyone. Like I said, everyone sees the ocean differently. For me, the ocean is I want to say a safe haven. It's like if I ever have problems on the beach, I'd go surf and take care of it. I just like the challenge. I've always kind of viewed surfing as a chess match against the ocean, and you're just trying to set yourself up to win, and it never happens because once you get the best wave of your life, you automatically the next second want a better one. You know what I mean? So there's no winning. It's just always kind of hunting down that next good wave. But I guess it's just a challenge, trying to achieve that, get the best wave of your life. But like I said, the second you get it, you're going to want a better one instantly.
Do you remember the best wave of your life, or is your brain convincing you that there's a better wave?
I do not remember the best wave of my life. I have a few that were really good that I remember.
Where were you?
Hawaii, Indonesia, here in New Jersey. But I do remember a few waves that I didn't make that could have been the best wave of my life. So I always looked at the negatives and wanted to. I always looked at my
competitive, bro.
Yeah, I always looked at my failures and wanted to do better. Like there's a few waves that I think of that really stick out in my head. And
give me one. Give me one story.
One was in Hawaii at Backdoor, and this wasn't my fault, but I got a really good wave, which is hard to do. You have to spend a lot of time and know who's who to catch that wave, so you're not fighting off the wrong people for the wave. And I finally got like a gem, like a really, really good backdoor wave. And this guy just pushed this guy was like 30 feet down the line, and he pushed the whole thing down on me. He was starting to paddle in and just shut it down. And it was literally someone paddled out and goes, "Was that you on that wave?" It's like that thing was a 10 and just went all the way through perfect. And I go, "Yeah, it was me." He's like, "Man, I'd kill that guy if I were you." And I was like, "It's not my territory," but I'll never forget that. And that was one of the best waves. And I have a few here that I didn't make that I remember on some bigger days that just kind of will always irk me, to say the least. But it's part of it. It's part of it. Like I'm sure you've done things in your life that you learn and
right.
wish that you had that chance back, that you never get that chance back.
Are locals territorial with their waves, their local waves?
Yes, locals are. Like it's warranted in some places and not warranted in others. I don't believe that.
Like Hawaii or something?
Yeah. Like places like Pipe, you need some sort of hierarchy, I guess, to say the least. But then you have, local beach breaks and, the sand shifting where people can be, dicks. And, I don't think it's warranted at all places. I don't think it's warranted at most places. I was never someone that lived by the my beach, my wave mentality. I always tried to branch out and surf other places, because when I surfed other places, I didn't want to be talked down to or disrespected. So I try not to do that, at my local breaks. If someone's surfing there and they drop in on me, I've never gotten a confrontation in the water. I've kicked one person out, or two people. And as they were leaving the ocean, I actually said, "Hey, I'm sorry, like go surf," you know. That's after someone hit me in the face and I had to go get stitches.
And you're like, get the fuck off my way.
Get the fuck out of here now. And the kid saw like, and he was like a 25-year-old kid. And I felt
and he
bad.
Froze.
He put his head, he just started like walking his tail between his legs. Like, oh shit, what did I just do? Hey,
and
go back
like,
out. I'm cool. We're cool.
And then he realizes you. Do people recognize you, like young surfers? Like, oh shit, that's Sam Hammer. Holy fuck.
Oh, I mean, listen, you know, I catch my waves and people are respectful. Yeah. You know, but as you know, I don't know. I felt so bad that one time. I was going to get stitched up and I was like, man, I hope I see this guy again. Yeah. I never saw him again. And I felt he probably just surfed this break one time, you know, and then hit me in the nose, split open, stitches. Just like, Jesus Christ. But it happens, you know, but I felt terrible. Like, I don't think localism's good in a lot of cases, but the problem I have is when, you know, surfers are like minions. So they go to places that they're comfortable with and they go to places where they see other people. Right. And, you know, you can have, you know, like last winter we surfed this one break and it's miles of beach. And me and two guys were surfing this one peak and we got a few good waves. Next thing you know, there's literally 25 guys in a 30-yard radius. And it's like, what the fuck? There's nobody surfing to the north or south for miles. And you guys are all coming to this one spot because you saw someone get a good wave. It's like I'm watching waves spit down the beach. Go, like, just go. Yeah. This is a joke, you know? So now I have to walk my
ass out there. Yeah.
You know, I got a little old man grumpy that day. You know, I just started, you know, I don't talk in the water. I try not to express my opinion just because it's not my ocean. But that day was pretty aggravating because I'm literally looking 30 yards to the south and there's nobody for miles. Yeah. And then everyone's in this little tight ball, you know, so it happens. It's all good.
Did surfing make you more patient as a person?
Yes and no. I think surfing does make you patient because you can't impose your will on the ocean. You can try to, right, but you're never going to. You can't just say, snap my fingers, hey, I want a wave, and there's the wave. You know, so you have to take what the ocean gives you. And a lot of times it's not what you're looking for. So it's just kind of, you know, golf makes you patient because you have to learn how to forget.
Right.
You know, excuse me.
Damn. Sam, this is amazing, man.
Andy,
I know you're busy.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Dude, so my band's playing it's the Sea.Hear.Now festival. And I heard you're going to be surfing. What's the scoop with all this? What's the scoop with like surfers and music for this festival? Have you been to this festival before?
Yes, I've been to Sea.Hear.Now. Every year it's been on. I've been lucky to be a participant in the surf aspect of it for 3 years. I guess they've had it, and then it's incredible. Imagine doing your thing in front of live music and
in front of Green Day and people. Shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's insane. You know, and there's like one year Blind Melon was playing and like one of my favorite songs from them. That's when I was growing up. That's what I grew up to, 90s, you know? Yeah. And they played the song Change. And my buddy and I were in the heat surfing and we're just like, dude, this is a trip. We're listening to, you know, this song, Blind Melon, who's playing Change. And it's like, it was sick, man. It was incredible. And who else played? Every year, it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's
just listening to great music. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you're listening to live music. They're commentating on the surfing that's going on. The bands are when they're in between songs, and then there's 60,000 people watching you surf. Like, where do you get that kind of audience? You know what I mean? So you're doing your thing. You're trying to have a good time. For me, I don't feel pressure in that just because it's a friendly competition. It's not like I want to rip your heart out competition. Yeah. So everyone's pretty respectful, having a good time. There's no hassling. It's like, hey, let's go surf. Let's go put on a show. and do our thing, you know? So it's actually really cool and fun. It's incredible. Like I said, I mean,
So cool.
you know, so your band, you've played in front of big crowds and you
Yeah.
feed off of it.
Oh yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like, do you like it better surfing in front of a crowd, or do you like it when no one's around?
Personally, I kind of like surfing in front of a crowd.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
You know, it's yeah, right? Like
listen,
dog. I surf so much by myself. It's, you know, it feels good to do it in front of people. You know, it feels good to do, you know, what you've been doing your whole life in front of people. Like, and there's a little bit of pressure, you know, from wanting to perform. You know, you want to do your best. You want to surf well. So that's fun. I like the weight. You know, you gotta like the weight.
Sick. Man,
you know,
just think of your life as a younger kid before like getting married, just fucking surfing and getting pussy. I just see the whole thing, dude. It's just fucking wild. You guys live this life. It's amazing. Everyone is like real fit. Everyone's real cool. Everyone is competitive. So like you still have that chase for something and you're not lazy. That's why I don't understand fucking kids right now, dude. Maybe I'm just getting to that age where I just don't, the work ethic thing. I'm like, damn, that's the lifestyle. Like, it sounds like such a great lifestyle, you know? Yeah. Being on the beach every day.
Being on the beach every day, there's no place better. And you know, like our waves are best in the winter around here, so it's cold as hell. But like in the summer, it's fun, man. It's chaos on the beach. There's tons of people on the beach most days, and it's fun surfing with other people, you know?
Hold on, you're surfing in the wintertime?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, Sam. Let's fucking go.
The wintertime is when we have our best waves.
Oh,
so
fuck.
You know, you think about any location that's getting good waves during their season, most of the time it's in the winter times. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people are like, oh, there's a hurricane coming. And, you know, those aren't our best swells. They can be really good, but 9 times out of 10, they're not our best swells. Our best swells come from, it's gonna sound really terrible, but when you see a lot of like chaos and tornadoes and stuff in the South, those are generally our best swells. So
holy shit.
but it's wintertime's the best, man. It's cold as shit, but the ocean is a different element and it's raw, you know, and where we are, we have one of the bigger water changes in the world. So it'll go from 75 to 35. So a 40-degree swing from, you know, and even overnight, like we get a lot of what's called upwelling where it gets cold overnight. Like, so yesterday the water was in the like 60, it was 60 degrees and today it'll be 70. So it just bounces around. But no matter where you go in the world, you're not going to find too much of a colder environment than you actually see here and in the Northeast. So surfed all over the globe, like in winter, Iceland in the middle of winter, like the northern portion of Norway in winter. And, you know, the water's just as cold here. So
you're worried about like hypothermia or anything like that? You're good.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you can't go from like cold to hot. So the worst thing to do is jump in hot showers, even though it's the one thing you want to do, because your hands will, you know, you can get hypothermia that way. But no, I mean, listen, if you're going to get hypothermia, you're going to get the hell out. You know what I mean? I'm not going through that much pain.
Yeah, we're good here. All right,
we're
Norway,
good. Like,
peace
I'll
out.
check out. Yeah, I'll check out. But there's been a few times where, you know, like, I don't know, I surfed in Nova Scotia years ago, and it was basically like surfing in a frozen margarita. It was just all slush, and it was sick. What? It was cool.
That's so wild. That is so fucking wild. And do you still enjoy it when it's that cold?
Yeah, I still enjoy it when it's that cold. I just don't surf as much when it's that cold. So if the waves aren't, you know, what I'm looking for, if it's a day like today where it's knee high to waist high, I'm not going in.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah, it's just too old. You know, but I still, you still have to maintain, you know, for when the waves are good, you know. So you still have to maintain arms. If you don't have paddling arms, you're SOL, you know. So there's not much you can do.
So you have to. to be a professional, well, of course, I don't. Now I'm just saying that was a stupid question, but you have to be in there every fucking day to get good. Right?
Every day, yeah. When you're
Every
younger,
day.
you have to be in there every day. When you're at the top of your game, like I'm more of a brand ambassador now, so I don't have much pressure to perform. So it's kind of cool, but I still do like to perform. But yeah, like my drive now comes from those good days. I want my arms to be ready. I want to be ready for when it's good, because I still want to, try to mop up the younger generation.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Bro. I'm gonna clap. Sam, thank God there's people like you out there, bro. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Like I don't want to get older.
I know. That's a thing, It's like, especially when you try to be an athlete your whole life, you see yourself age sooner than a lot of people who just do a desk job. You feel your body aging all the fucking time, which is fucking nuts, dude. It's nuts. You guys are crazy people.
No, it's just like anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're passionate if you're passionate about what you do, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do anything you can to prolong it.
Fucking love easy. It. What about? Well, I got one more question. What about the Billabong thing? When you first got do you remember your first big paycheck as a surfer?
Yeah, sorry, the one went out. My first big paycheck, like my first contract that was pretty big. Yeah, I do remember it. It was probably when I was like 23, 22,
Holy
23 in that
shit.
range. I started making some good money, and I was surfing for Billabong, and then I was actually the first East Coast rider for Red Bull when they started getting into the action sports. So that was kind of like the year where, I started making good money, and it was just like, I can't believe I get to surf every day and make money. Like, this is mind blowing to me. You know what I mean?
Wild.
Enough to make, it bought me a house, which was always my dream, to own my own house. I was able to provide, to live out my dream. And it was from surfing, which, it just goes to show I didn't surf for, 4 months every year when I was a kid going through high school, just because I do other sports. And, I guess I was just hungry, and I was hungry and hungry and hungry. And all I wanted to do was surf the second I graduated high school. And, so yeah, it's mind blowing that I was able to provide a life like this through surfing, through a sport or your passion. So it was actually easy to work because I wanted to work, but I also looked at, getting on trips and getting on, getting more exposure. I looked at it like a job. I didn't look at it as my passion.
Yeah.
And I think you have to separate the two, because there's so many talented people, and I was never somebody that was uber talented. I just had the work ethic to impose, to force myself to get better. And that's kind of the way someone with talent that has no work ethic is useless. And somebody with a great work ethic that has, mediocre talent can overachieve. So that's kind of what I strived for.
Yeah. And, you think about, like, when you put that, you change the category of your passion into, a job. I think it makes you work harder at it than just taking it for granted. Right.
100%. I mean, if you don't, yeah, it's surfing, but you have to separate it. You're getting paid, so technically it is your profession, right? So you have to look at it like that and go to work every day with that mentality. And whether it was surfing, communicating with different, editors, photographers, corporate people, every day is a job. There's no days off, especially in surfing. You never know when the waves are going to be good, especially on the East Coast. It could go flat for 2 weeks, and then the next day it could be 10 feet. So it's just, you got every day, you look at it like work, and that's how I always approached it. So it paid off. It paid off.
Well, let's fucking go, Sam. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Clap it up for yourself. You should be proud.
Thank you. It's it's good. It's been very productive, and I got to live out my dreams that I set forth.
Well, Sam, I'm ready to fucking see you shred the gnar, baby. Let's fucking get it. Go get gnarred out. Thanks for being on the show. Go do your thing. Go fucking shred gnar. Go teach the youth about work ethic, please.
I will, and keep doing your thing, and I'll see you in. I can't wait to see you perform.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.